IBO lightweight title on the line here, the Yorkshire derby. We're going to go to Team Galahad firstly. Remember back, Dom, to the Kiko Martinez fight. You know, we always knew that it was a struggle for Kid Galahad. People talked about, you know, the weight, whether that played a part in the Kiko Martinez fight. He completely dominated that fight until he got hit with that first right hand. It was a devastating defeat. Obviously, the Castaneda fight fell through and he moves up to 135 pounds. You're confident that that's the right decision? He looked extremely happy in the hotel earlier. Then he might not be looking as happy if he was making 126, but a good fight, a tough fight, and one that could open a lot of doors in the lightweight division. Yeah,
you know, it's I don't think £4 would ever have been enough of a you know, headroom for Barry. And I think a lot of fighters who come from 9 stone, they may have one fight at super feather, but they tend to end up at lightweight, you know, a good £9 heavier, because it was always a struggle. It was a struggle for years, but when you're in that world championship position, you're champion, you can't really turn down fights. You've got to take what comes. That's your bargaining power. And, you know, he still had fighting in Martinez. You know, he proved that against Warrington, broke his jaw, massive puncher. And, you know, Barry was blinding that fight easily and then got caught. And, you know, and you can't take you off your ball. But the resistance really to them kind of shots probably wasn't there. And I'm going to see on Saturday night, you know, he's saying that it's a better weight class. You know, Maxi's a bigger guy. You know, Barry's never had a problem ever taking a shot. And I do believe it was totally down to the dehydration and that weight-making process, what kind of, you know, won it for Martinez, plus the big right hand. So we'll see a different fighter on Saturday. You know, it's going to be a more hydrated, powerful Kid Galahad and back to his usual ways. So it's going to be an exciting fight. You know, Max is a good fighter. He's come good over the last couple of years, and you know, it's his title to defend, but we're here to take it, and hopefully we do.
How do you see the fight playing out, you know, without giving a game plan away? Two guys that, you know, have over the years liked to counterpunch a little bit and box technically as well, but I've got the feeling it might not play out like this. Obviously, from Barry's point of view, absolutely must win. And Kid Galahad as well, probably want to put the pressure on to what he will feel will be the smaller man.
Yeah, he can't take any chances, and he can't leave anything, you know, to doubt, and he's got to go out there and put it on Maxi and kind of put him in his place. You know, Maxi's a good little boxer. He likes to box and move. He can fight when he has to. We've seen in his previous fights. But like I say, yeah, it's the last chance saloon for Barry, and he's got to make an impression if he wants to move on and get the big fights. I know Maxi was looking forward to fighting Ryan Garcia, but I think everybody knows in that fight he was only going as an opponent and get the payday. It's a bit of a different proposition now because he's in with another British prospect, and there's pride on the line. So there's got to be a bit more fight in him. So, you know, it's going to be a good fight, but Barry's got to win this fight or that's the end of him. And same for Maxi, really. He's had good bursts, he's lost a few. But I would think, you know, for either fighter, whoever loses, it's really the end of the road.
Thanks, Don. Before we go to Kid Galahad, we go to Maxi's rep, Steffi Ball. Steffi, a bit of a strange situation now for Maxi, really, where he's kind of defending the throne, not just this throne, but kind of like the opportunity to be in one of those Ryan Garcia fights, or the kind of fight that really changes your life forever financially and from a legacy point of view as well. And probably a little bit more pressure than he's ever had in his career, because a lot of the time we talk about the Cinderella story and so forth, and now he can't really afford to lose, because in this game of snakes and ladders, it takes him too far away from those opportunities.
It's been and he's probably had the best rise in British boxing over the last couple of years, as Maxi. Very unexpected rise, some fantastic wins, and some fantastic wins that he wasn't supposed to win, and obviously the bookies have got him underdog again, and he relishes that. But this fight's been made, people kind of not aware of it, probably 8-10 weeks ago. So Maxi has been on the ball, like training for Barry all this time, and then we've had that many things chucked at us on the way, with opportunities, potentially the Garcia, then Linares popped up. But to give him his due, he stay fully focused. He's always been sparring southpaws and things. And when this fight came, I mean, it did came, and I can't remember if me and Dom had a little bit of banter on Twitter about it. I straight away, it's a fight I never thought of, because obviously Barry's always been a featherweight, and I think it's a great fight. and you see a little bit of negativity with two counter punches, it's going to be a ball fest. I don't think this is going to be a ball fest whatsoever. I think both of them have got a lot of pride. It's a Yorkshire derby. There's obviously niggle, and me personally, I think it's a fantastic fight, and one that I'm looking forward to as a fan, not just as Maxi's manager. Very intriguing. You've got Barry coming up the two weight divisions, but he is now coming up to Maxi's, who's probably in the prime of his. He's not showing no decline. His last fight was fantastic. He's not dropped around in his last two fights. So I always say a confident fighter is very hard to beat, and Maxi is full of confidence. He's a big, strong lightweight. This is his division, and he's not going to want to let that crown go, because, like you say, Eddie, Maxi Hughes win over Barry does warrant a super fight, surely, a big fight where it could be life-changing, and that's the position he's in, and he understands that, and that's why he wants this fight. I know yesterday Barry mentioned that he didn't want that fight. Maxi, out of 5 years of managing, Maxi is probably and the easiest fighter to manage. He just says, yeah, can you get me a bit more money? Yeah, can you get me a bit? And that's just how he will fight anyone. So he's here, the fight's done, all the talk's over, and I think everybody's going to be in for a fantastic fight.
I know you haven't contradicted yourself yet, but you could do it sitting as Terry Harper's trainer-manager as well, of her moving up, 3 or 4 divisions, and Kid Galahad moving up 2 divisions. As much as it might play a part in Terry's fight, do you see that playing a part in this particular fight as well, coming off the knockout?
No, I said that to Maxi doesn't either. I think Barry's going to be better. I really do. And Dom's one of the best trainers in the world. He knows what he's doing, and he will be more rejuvenated. He probably will be stronger, and he probably will have a lot more energy. I've been with fighters, and Terry's one of them, where they're struggling to make weight, and not just McDonald twins over the years. A number of fighters. I've done it with Robbie Barrett, who boxed, and we're in a weight-making sport, and some people who are not in boxing don't realise how fatigued fighters become, but they're still having to grind it out because they're world champion and they've got to make them weights. I think Barry's going to be a better fighter. I really do. But Max is ready for that, and I think it's going to be a better fight for that.
Thanks, Steffi. Barry, obviously, sometimes it would be me selling the fight, saying, you know, if you lose, it could be the end of the road, but your own trainer's done it because he's very honest with you.
Listen,
and I kind of feel like you've put that pressure on yourself as well.
I always put that pressure on myself every single fight. I've just got a underdog mentality. You know, every fight for me is do or die. That's my mentality. And, you know, Saturday night I've got to go in there and I've got to do a job on him, you know, and I'm going to do a job on Maxi Hughes. And I just can't wait. You know, this new weight, I'm just feeling fresher, not struggling to make the weight, and I just can't wait.
It was almost a year ago now, since the defeat to Kiko Martinez. Just one of the most shocking things I've seen in terms of turnarounds for a fight. How long did it take you to get over that defeat? Because you must have been kicking yourself. You were completely dominating the fight. You couldn't win a round.
Well,
and then just out of nowhere, you know, the world comes crashing down and you lose your world championship.
It's boxing, and Eddie, that's what it's about, innit? It's boxing, that's what happens, you know. Just went back to the drum. I went back into the gym. I remember messages you and you said to me, oh, just go on holiday, have a break. I went straight back into the gym, just cleared my mind and just sat down and just thought about where did it go wrong. And, you know, I know where it went wrong, went and adjusted it. And on Saturday night, I'm going to go in there and do a number on Maxi Hughes, and you're going to see.
A lot of people talking about, as I said, the styles of this fight, but a lot of people also saying, as Steffi did there, I think it'll be a really entertaining fight because you can't afford to find a way to have a close fight with Maxi Hughes and coast through. You've got to be all action, and you should have a much better tank for doing so. How's the confidence coming off that defeat? I saw the head-to-head Maxi. I don't know whether it's mind games from Maxi or he was compassionate, but trying to put a little bit of doubt in there coming off that knockout if you are still the same fighter.
Well, listen, his friend Josh Warrington just got knocked out by Lara, and he went back on to win the world title, do you know what I mean? And that's it. It just, listen, it depends how you're built. You know, I think if he got knocked out of the way that I did, he probably would have been finished, but, you know, I'm a different gravy to him, and Saturday night he's going to see.
You talked about one of his early career defeats, well, early now, but where you said that he asked his trainer to pull him out of the fight. Was that mind games from you as well, or you think,
it's not
can
really
you make him quit in this fight?
No, it's not mind games, it's the truth, innit? At the end of the day, I got knocked out by Kiko, and he asked his trainer to pull him out because he had a bloody nose, and that's the truth, innit? You know, I'm not sugarcoating it, it's the truth, and that's it, you know. Then I'd rather go out on my shield than tell my trainer to pull me out because I've got a bloody nose while I'm in a fight, and that just shows your mentality.
Maxi, was it compassion yesterday in the head-to-head? I don't know, was it mind games? Is it putting a bit of doubt in Kid Galahad's mind if he's ready for you after that knockout? Do you think he can be the same fighter after that defeat?
Only Barry knows that. You know, only speaking to Terry yesterday about it, she had not as bad, and it was on the same night as well, wasn't it, with Baumgartner. She herself, she's exercised them demons in Nottingham in March. That's where, you know, I had a chat with Tony Bellew last night, and he says, nobody gets to exercise them demons until you step back through the ropes and get it on chin with some 8-ounce gloves. So only then do you know if you've got over a defeat like that. And there were genuine compassion there. You know, nobody likes to see a fellow boxer go down as heavy as that. You know, it's not nice to see, is it, when paramedics are being rushed in? You know, it's, you know, we never think, as fighters, we never think that's ever going to happen. We just want to get in there, fight, and go home to his families. But when you do see that, you know, it is a bit worrying.
The boxing game is a game of snakes and ladders, and if you liken it to, you know, the business of moving a fighter to a game of poker, you know, you sort of turned up at the table with 1 or 2 chips and ended up doubling up, trebling up, quadrupling up. Then you're sitting there with a big chip stack, and the mentality changes at that point. You know, you came with nothing, now you're protecting something. We talked about the Ryan Garcia fight, he was DMing you all the time. We'd made the Jorge Linares fight, you accepted that fight, and now you're fighting Kid Galahad. Is there any part of you that the danger could be being a little bit flat in this fight because you thought you might get the Ryan Garcia fight, and now you're in a fight where kind of like the pressure's on you, maybe you're expected to win, but you know this is a really tough fight in itself?
I don't put pressure on myself in terms of like, oh, I've got to get through this fight because I can get them fights. It's the way I'm living my life, you know, my life outside of boxing. I've got 2 young kids who I absolutely adore, and being a full-time boxer, I'm around them more. So that's what I'm putting pressure on myself for, to continue the life that I'm living, being a full-time pro, being able to spend that time with my kids. You know, what comes after fights comes after them, you know, nothing's ever guaranteed. So you don't know what's going to come. So that's my motivation, is to continue being a full-time fighter and being the best dad to my kids.
And finally, you talked in the head-to-head as well about the standing on the feet and, you know, a little bit of holding as well. Expect a dirty fight in there tomorrow. I mean, I think this fight's going to, on Saturday, I think this fight's going to catch fire. I know desperately you both want to win, but by any means necessary, you see yourself being triumphant in this fight?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the run of form, the momentum's with me. But I'm underdog again, you know, it's something I'm used to, and it's just how I approach things anyway, regardless what bookies think or what people's opinions are. You know, me and my team, we're confident in what we're doing, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, more than confident that my hand gets raised, and still.
Well, big fight for both men's career, Yorkshire derby. Maxi Hughes against Kid Galahad, IBO world lightweight title. As we said, Hannah Rankin defends her IBO and WBA world titles against Terry Harper, plus Rhiannon Dixon, Cyrus Patterson, Sol Dakers, Chev Clark, Janae Boston and Mohammed Samir as well. Big night of boxing, live and exclusive on DAZN all around the world this Saturday from the Nottingham Arena. We'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow. We'll have head-to-heads up here now. Thank you.